Western New York at Work has been a leading force in bridging the gap between small business and the community. Originating as a radio show hosted by local leader and entrepreneur Dale Martin, Western New York at Work has covered the local events that make Buffalo the cultural hub that it is. Dale Martin and Western New York at Work have been at the forefront of sports, jobs, economic development, and always the people that make it happen. Western New York at Work continues to create new excitement and innovative paths, as seen with the addition of co-host Lauren Lewis, and of course its signature event partners with a shared vision, which is redefining the meaning of true collaboration, leadership, and making Buffalo even better. From Jefferson Avenue to the Southtowns, together, we are Western New York at Work.
Good morning, Buffalo, and welcome to another show, another episode of Western New York at Work here at BBZ TV. Today we have a great conversation in store for you today, and I'm so excited to have today's conversation because, as we all know, we've been dealing with this pandemic for a number of weeks now, maybe a total of 8 to 10, but I believe that we're on the other side. The governor has announced that Western New York is close to opening. I'm excited. And we have the one and only Kathy from the Kenmore-Town of Tonawanda Chamber of Commerce. That's also, she's an exciting person, and she's going to share with us what the Chamber is doing in terms of helping us reopen the community. Kathy, welcome to today's show.
Good morning, Dale. Thank you.
So how are you doing this morning?
Excellent. We're moving into summer here, I can feel. So everybody's going to be in a better mood this week with the sunshine.
Yes. And Kathy, I have to say, I feel like I'm a part of your home. I love that background. Is that a picture or is that really your home?
It's a temporary situation since I'm working from home. I took over an empty room actually, and but it worked. I actually last year we were able to get a grant for the Chamber of Commerce, and we reached out to USI Tech. And I told him last year, I said, in a minute's notice, I want to be able to work from home. And they set us up so that when this whole thing happened, it was nothing at all. I brought my monitors home and my computer and, VPN'd into the system. Boy, was I thankful that we had all new computers because everything's, got the ability to do Zoom, etc. But I was very fortunate that because a lot of people are working from home, and that is a bit of a challenge. Yes. But it's just my husband and I here, so we don't have the kids running around, and it's quiet. We can do it pretty well.
Okay, good. Well, it looks like a very soothing atmosphere.
I try. I actually have an 11-foot window in front of me, so I am just looking out over my yard. Okay,
great. Well, Kathy, to get our conversation started, can you share with us a little bit about yourself and the type of work that you do at the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I am the executive director / president / CEO, and the Kenton Chamber of Commerce is almost 50 years old. I'm pretty excited about 50. That.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to 2022 for a lot of reasons. And one is our 50th anniversary in 2022. And I think it'll be a perfect time to really be celebrating a lot of things. We hopefully will be on the far end of this whole crisis, and it'll be a big celebration.
Okay, excellent. And I'm pretty sure over the that 50-year history. A lot of things have happened. But let's talk about your leadership and how long have you been at the helm?
Actually, about 2.5 years now.
Okay.
It was I've been involved with the chamber as a single business owner for a while, and then a manufacturer's rep for a while, and I was on the board of directors. And this was just a natural progression, and I'm really enjoying it. It's something I did not expect, and it was. But it's been 2.5 years now. And we had gotten to a point really within the last year that the chamber was really soaring. And I think, like a lot of people, we saw 2020 as a just breakout year. Just everything was humming along with the economy. And I was just waiting for, the snow to stop, and everything was terrific. And but life throws these things at you. And I think that most people have had enough struggles in their lives that they've been
Yes.
prepared for this. You gotta just go back and look at your past struggles, and little things that you've gone through have already prepared you for things like this. Quite unexpected, but pivoting and reinventing are the new buzzwords.
Yes, reinventing ourselves. And as you just indicated a moment ago, life throws you a curveball. It throws many issues with you. And the coronavirus certainly has impacted us on a global level without any question. Let's talk about more locally. What does the chamber actually do? Because like other businesses, the chamber also has had to evolve.
Yes. Over the years, the chamber was Google. The chamber started out being just the hub of a community. Everybody would come to the Chamber of Commerce to find out about a plumber in the area, a business in the area that they wanted to look at, what the schools were like. Where do you go for this? Where do you go for that? And it was totally Google in those days.
I like that.
Yeah, well, it's what it was. We used to get all kinds of.
At least you didn't say the former phone book, the yellow pages.
Yes, yes. And I still get phone calls from people looking for. I got a call a couple of weeks ago from someone who was looking for the grave site of their grandfather. I mean, we used to get all kinds. We still get all kinds of calls. So we're really the hub of the community. And I had mentioned, or I say a lot of times, we're the face of business. So we facilitate, we advocate, we connect, and we educate. And that's what we're doing. We have been doing. So we're a member-based nonprofit organization, and we work for our members. We help them build their businesses, connect them with other businesses that they might be either a like business or a service that they might be looking for. And we're working within the entire community to just lift it all, lift up, and at this point with this crisis, we have opened that model of working with just our member businesses. We are flat out doing everything we can to communicate with the entire business community, pretty much in the town of Tonawanda, city of Tonawanda, out into North Buffalo, East Amherst, that kind of thing, or West Amherst. And we're just doing everything we can to get information out to people as fast as we possibly can, because we're directly connected to our local government in discussions, et cetera, and to the state government and to the county, of course. But we're not funded in any way by the government. So we're not a political organization.
Great. Let me ask you this, Kathy, because many of us, many businesses, professionals, including job seekers, we're all trying to survive. And I think there's a disclaimer out there that some businesses are going to thrive. I'm not quite sure who they are, but how do you see the Chamber of Commerce surviving and thriving moving forward?
That's a great question, because it's a difficult time for everybody, and it's really a matter of leadership. The key is there's no playbook to follow here, and what you have to do is lead. and be strong and decisive, and you'll move into an area. We don't know what that's going to look like, but I think that just if you have some vision, and again, we're going to be pivoting and reinventing and doing whatever along the way, but you make it with conviction and strength, and people will follow. People will follow. I certainly believe that there is a place in every community for a strong chamber of commerce. And this actually might help us. People were kind of thinking that they could do it all on their own before. And we're getting a lot more people flocking back to the chamber saying, can you help? And yes, we can help.
And as we look to reopen Western New York, I know it's going to happen in phases. Phase 1 is going to be construction, manufacturing, phase 2 being professional services. That being said, and I know that in many cases the Chamber of Commerce is very event driven. How do you see that? What will that look like going forward?
Unfortunately, this year, this summer, where we're used to events one on top of another to cram them into our short summers, there will probably be no events at all. And I hate to say that, but we canceled ours. We canceled even things in September. And it's going to be, I look at this as really with anything in life. Things happen in like a season. It's a period of time. It's a season. And then things change. And we're pretty used to having, long winters that sometimes go from early October to the end of May, like this year.
Yes.
But we know that spring or summer is coming. And so we make it through 8 months of winter. And I really feel that this situation is going to be about that long. It's going to be about as long as our typical winter. And we can do that. We can make it through that. We just have to look at it and realize there is, sunshine on the other end. We will get back to a normal. Again, all these terms, a new normal, whatever that is. But we have to be patient. We have to be kind to one another, considerate to one another, and do the things that we know are right, which are pretty darn simple. And you're going to get sick of it. But all summer long, we are probably going to have to wear our masks if we're in any kind of a business. And we're going to have to keep that social distancing. If we do those two things and we're polite to one another and considerate of one another and we do those things, we'll make it through. It's a season. We'll get past it.
I agree with you. And speaking of that, we are a community. We are a very strong community. We are a community that collaborates. Do many of the other local chambers of commerce collaborate, and especially during this pandemic?
This has been fabulous, actually. Yes, there's some good, strong leadership. A couple of the chambers have changed their directors and their presidents over the past year or two. And so there's some new blood in there. And I think that like AJ Baines from the Amherst Chamber and I started right about the same month, actually. And we immediately forged a great relationship. I was new, he was new. So, there was no history that we had to worry about. And we have tied into actually also the Buffalo Niagara Partnership for information, because they've got the direct ear of the governor, lieutenant governor. And so we just kind of join on, with whatever they're doing. And then I'm able to bring that to our members because we're a member of the Buffalo Niagara Partnership. So then I'm actually able to bring that information to our members. But we have done several events between Amherst and Cheektowaga and Clarence and West Seneca and the Kenton Chamber, even Lewiston, Niagara, USA. So this has actually been a really great time for chambers of commerce.
Excellent.
I think that we're going to be stronger than ever on the other side of this.
Okay, good. And for anyone that's looking for more information about the chamber, what's your contact information?
Mine is easy, and so I hope that people will connect with me. Our website is very simple, ken-ton.org. That's a simple one. And we keep that up to date. And we even have, I think a lot of people have a new tab on their websites called COVID. Just so we've got some updated information in that. But I encourage people to just reach out to me personally. It's Kathy with a C, Cathy at ken-ton.org. And you can email me, and the town of Tonawanda, the village of Kenmore, city of Tonawanda, all of these areas are my baby. This is where we live, and we are looking forward to helping each and every business that is willing to grasp the new reality.
Yes.
They'll make it going forward. But there are some major changes. And I'll roll into that, because the key, I think, is that the businesses have to treat their employees well first. They have to have that leadership. And this is actually going to be a time when the businesses may decide to change up their leadership. And it's actually a really good time to pull their best people and give them more responsibility. And then the key is every single day that each of those, each of the employees goes into work, there should be just a really good communication every single day about what they're doing and how they're doing it, and how they're keeping their employees and their customers safe. Because our first need is that safety. We're very concerned about getting sick and taking it home to someone who is more vulnerable. So the employee has got to feel safe, and then they'll feel more energized in serving the customer.
Hi everyone, how are you? I'm Lauren Lewis with Staff Buffalo, and I wanted to come on today to talk about video conference interview tips. Now, video conferencing is not something that's new, especially from an interview standpoint. There have been a lot of companies that have been using this platform in the past to interview, especially when they have positions that are located across the country or people working remotely. But for a lot of us, it is a really new concept. It's new for hiring managers. It's new for candidates looking for a new job. So there are some really key tips, I think, that I want to share with you to make sure that you really nail the interview and don't get thrown off by this new process to interview for a job. One of the most important things is to make sure you treat it like a professional in-person interview. That comes down to making sure you schedule it at a time when you have very minimal distractions. So if you have kids at home, pets, make sure it's at a time when your kids are napping or when you can send them outside to play for a half hour or 45 minutes. Make sure your pet is outside. That way you minimize the background distraction noise and you can really focus on the interview, and the hiring manager you're interviewing with is not thrown off by the distractions that you are bringing into the interview. Another thing when it comes to distractions, make sure you're in a professional setting. Make sure there's no distractions behind you. You don't want any posters up, you don't want clutter in the background. That really lends a look into your personal life that could also translate into your professional life. So you don't want that stuff to hinder you from getting that job. Another thing, make sure you dress professionally. Although you're working from home and you're interviewing from the comfort of your own house, dress professionally from the bottom to the top. You want to make sure that you feel as comfortable and confident and professional as you can so that you are ready for that interview. In treating it like a professional in-person interview, not only are you going to make sure you're dressed professionally, but as you typically would arrive to an in-person interview 15 minutes before the scheduled interview time, you want to sit down at your computer 15 minutes before the scheduled video conference interview. That way you can sit down, prepare, make sure your resume is in front of you, make sure you have a notepad in front of you and a pen so you can take notes throughout the interview. Remember that interview is a two-way street. You're going to be interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you. So have your notepad and pen ready to jot down anything that you take away from the interview as well. Also, make sure that you are prepared for this interview before the actual interview time. So there are a lot of different web conference platforms and software that the company might be using to do the interview. So whether it's Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Skype, Uber conference. I mean, name it. There are a variety of tools out there that people are using to do these video conferences. You want to make sure you test the conference software beforehand. So make sure you have it downloaded. Ask a friend or a colleague if they can practice with you. I know at Staff Buffalo, we do this a lot with our candidates who are interviewing at our clients. We test the interview the software platform before the interview, just to make sure when they sit down to that interview, the microphone works, the video works, and they are not distracted by anything. Make sure that your laptop, your mobile device, whatever it is you're using, make sure it's charged fully so that when it comes time to the interview, you're ready to go. You have no technical glitches before the interview. And finally, one of the most important things, once that interview is over, send that follow-up thank you email. And you want to send it within 24 hours. Thank the interviewer for their time. Thank them for sharing information with you. Thank them for taking the time to learn about who you are, your career history, your successes, your awards, your accomplishments, and what you could bring to that company for that interview. So please make sure you always send that thank you interview. That's imperative, and that does not go away just because you're doing a video conference. So in summary, make sure you treat this interview professionally. Make sure you treat it like an in-person interview. Although you're at home, there are a lot of things you could do to make sure that this interview goes smoothly and that you get that job. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can always email me, llewis@staffbuffalo.com. And also, Staff Buffalo does offer video conference interview workshops to help you prepare for these interviews. We do phone interview workshops, in-person interview workshops, and now video conference workshops as well. So if you are interested in learning more, check out staffbuffalo.com. Have a great day.
Western New York at Work is brought to you by our key business partners and many business professionals, including Bocce's Club Pizza, Staff Buffalo, Buffalo Healthy Living, CAI, Hope Buffalo, Embassy Suites Hotel, and 716 Limousine. Yes. And I like what you said in terms of, the employees, and the safety concerns that are required for both the employer and the employees. And the Chamber of Commerce is a great place to start in terms of being able to disseminate and get some of that information. Here's an opportunity for us to educate our employers and our employees. I like to think that we are now starting to open for business. My biggest takeaway is that the Chamber is open for business.
We've been open for business. I can work remotely. I actually have an office space that it would be easy to work in. We have a nice big office space. We're not using the conference room anymore, but we have a nice big office space. So we can do that. I just decided to work from home because, again, like I said earlier, USI Tech set me up so that I can do this, and I felt that I felt more comfortable. And it is interesting how that comfort level, I just was same as everybody, just kind of a little afraid or a little hesitant, I'll say, to go out there because that virus is out there.
Okay. Kathy, I can't thank you enough for your time today. And once again, the Chamber, in terms of its mission, and you mentioned somewhat of an acronym, but can you repeat that once again?
So the acronym, I use a couple of them, but I'll start with, we are the face of business. So we facilitate, we advocate, we connect, and we educate. And in doing that too, we have one weekly Zoom meeting right now that we hold at 10 a.m. on Friday mornings. And it is open to the community. We call it Business Community and Unity. And it is a Zoom meeting that has all kinds of information, and it changes every week. So it's fascinating. And we bring in the latest. So whatever Governor Cuomo talked about and whatever information we have, we'll talk about that on Friday morning. But we're offering all kinds of things to our businesses, not only to connect them to one another, to see how they can help each other, but also we're here as an umbrella information, one-stop shop. But there's also the opportunity to join and promote the entire community so that people start to be more comfortable shopping here. We've got to get back to that shop local and just kind of learn how to do that differently.
Okay. And Kathy, do you have to be a business owner with employees in order to join the chamber?
No, we have quite a few independents. I have people everywhere from just independent reps that rep businesses to someone who, designs and makes business or makes greeting cards. So there's a number, and we have a lot of independent, well, along the lines of the reps, insurance and real estate people, smaller businesses, craft businesses, all that kind of thing, all the way up to GM. So it's pretty interesting. But I will say that the majority is at small business. So I'm one-on-one with the small business a lot of times.
Okay, great. And lastly, if someone is unable to reach you, but they would like to give you a call, is there a telephone number in which they can reach you at?
Obviously, we're in the 716, proud to be a 716 area code. And the phone number is 874-1202. So the Kenton Chamber of Commerce phone number is 874-1202. And we're not in the office right now to pick up, but all the messages come directly to my cell phone.
Okay. And finally, is there any parting thoughts or anything you'd like to share with the business community or just the community at large?
Like I said in the beginning, and we will get past this, but it's going to make people stronger. It's a whole idea of utilizing the talent that you have and focusing on your employees and making sure that they're comfortable. But then the focus is customer. Okay,
great. Well, thank you so much once again, Kathy. I really appreciate your time today. I think the message that you have really resonated with us today is that we are open for business. The chamber is open for business. You're a resource for the solo entrepreneur to any industry out there, not just in the Kenmore-Tonawanda region or area, but for the entire region of Western New York.
Yes, we're all working together, and it's the same message. It's just that we want our businesses to come back online, do it safely, and figure out a plan. And there's a lot of cool information and ideas out there. And then just as we get into the communication of opening businesses, we have our Friday morning at 10 a.m. Zoom meeting. And Dale, I'd love to have you join us on that. You'd be a great resource for us based on your continued conversations with the Western New York region and the businesses. So I'm live inviting you to be on our Zoom meetings on Friday mornings sometime. Just we'll connect on that.
Well, thank you very much. I will take that as an invite. I will certainly participate. And you have a great remainder to your day. And I look forward to seeing you and speaking with you soon.
Thank you. You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Take care.
Take care.
Western New York at Work is brought to you by our key business partners and many business professionals, including Bocce's Club Pizza, Staff Buffalo, Buffalo Healthy Living, CAI Hope Buffalo, Embassy Suites Hotel, and 716 Limousine.